gang, Tony here with another weekly entertainment roundup. Third edition, I believe. Third one. This is going to be fairly short, so I'm going to get right to it. This week I've been very busy. I've been working on my sculptures for the Kickstarter backers, and I actually go back to work in about a week or so teaching, so I'm going to be working on my lesson plans and stuff. So, you know, entertainment has to take a back seat when you have responsibilities. That's our responsibility about being an adult. Because I'm obviously an adult. So, first we'll start with movies. I watched the Divergent series Allegiant, which I want to say is the third movie in the series. I have been watching the Divergent series, even though I was never like a huge fan of them. I haven't read the books, which probably goes without saying, since I'm pretty sure it's like young adult sort of stuff. The movies are okay. This last one in particular felt a little disjointed, and I started asking kind of larger plot questions about what, you know, what made sense and what didn't make sense, and there are a few things that don't really make a whole lot of sense. It's exciting, I guess, you know, dystopian future sort of deal. I don't want to say too much since it's the third movie in a series, and if you didn't even see the first two, I don't want to ruin stuff from the third one. But, you know, it was okay. Well, if I'm going to rate this, I'm going to give it about a 5 flight pods out of 10. So 5 isn't that bad. I'd still watch a 5, in case you guys were wondering. So if you're interested in watching Divergent series Allegiant, you can rent that one at Redbox or Netflix. It is not available streaming as far as I know. The next movie I watched, it was E.T. Hi, guy. Idiot. I love E.T. It's available on Netflix Instant. I give it 10 glowing fingers out of 10 because it's E.T. It really is an amazing movie. I mean, the acting in it is just outstanding. It's a classic. I really probably don't have to say much about E.T. If you've never seen E.T., for the love of God, it's on Netflix Instant. Watch it, please. That's it. It's E.T. Had to watch it. I've been watching a lot of stuff that's kind of like linked to Stranger Things. You probably have noticed that. So that's another reason I decided to watch it. And the last movie I watched this week was Anomalisa, which is a Charlie Kaufman film. I'm a huge fan of Charlie Kaufman. If you don't know who Charlie Kaufman is, he is a writer, mostly a writer, but also at times writer-director. In this case, he was the writer-director. He did Being John Malkovich, which is an all-time, absolute, hands-down favorite of mine. So good. Being John Malkovich, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Adaptation, Schenectady, New York, which is kind of the movie, that was his directorial debut as writer-director. And it's an amazing movie, but it critically didn't do that well. So kind of, I think he was doing really, really well. You know, people wanted to hire him and stuff. And then after that, I think things kind of slowed down for him a little bit. So it's been a few years. I think it's been like 6, 7 years. And he was working almost for a large portion of the time on this movie Anomalisa, which is actually like a claymation stop animation film. And I loved it. I loved it. And I'm a huge fan of Charlie Kaufman. But I will put it out there that if you are not into sort of like artsy films, if you're not into movies that are kind of slow, you probably would just hate this movie. And I totally understand if someone watched this and just hated the hell out of it, because it is quite slow at times. But it just plays around with a lot of the common themes that you'd see in Charlie Kaufman movies about, you know, identity and loneliness. And the stop animation element was incredibly effective for this. it could have easily... I think it was a play first, too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I read that they did have it as a live play at one point. There are certain things... I don't want to say too much about, like, certain elements that you slowly start to realize through the movie. There are certain weird things about the way they shot it that you start kind of wondering about, like, wait, well, is this relevant, or is it just something that they did? And it turns out a lot of it is, of course, relevant to the themes. I need to watch it again. There's a lot of going on in it. A very slow movie, very much like an art house sort of thematic-driven movie with weird moments, which, if you've watched any of Charlie Kaufman's movies, you know that he kind of thrives in that area of weird. So, I recommend it, but only with those caveats. I will give it 8. Give it 8 stop animation characters out of 10. Alright, those are the movies. TV. I really only watched one sort of new thing. I've mentioned the other ones previously. But this week, I dove headfirst into Mr. Robot, which I think just started its second season not too long ago. I didn't watch any of it at all until this week. I found the first season for free on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, it was free. No commercial interruption or anything like that. So I would recommend, if you have Amazon Prime, watching the first season there. The second season is not free on Amazon Prime. However, I did discover that the USA app for the Roku, and I'm sure like on, you know, the Fire Box and whatever other streaming devices, if you get the USA app, they have the full episodes for free there as well. It's basically about a hacker who is embroiled in trying or attempting to bring down one of the largest corporations in the world in order to help people not have debt anymore. So, in his words, he wants to save the world. As soon as I started watching it, right off the bat, I got a very Fight Club vibe off of it, which turns out to be one of the main inspirations for the show. I didn't know that going into it, but right away, if you're familiar with Chuck Palahniuk, his phrasing, and specifically Fight Club, there were some distinct parallels right from the beginning. So there were certain aspects of the show that I was kind of expecting, and I don't want to say too much about that either. Kind of leave it at that. But despite the clear connection to Fight Club and a lot of other shows too, it is, in and of itself, a really good show. And I don't think it detracts from it at all, the commonalities. So I would highly recommend it. I'm going to give it 9 hackers out of 10. And finally, the games. I, again, don't have a whole lot of time on my hands, so I've been very slowly still playing through Back to the Future, the game, which I finished the first chapter and I'm on to the second chapter. It's okay. You know, the more I play it, the less enthusiastic I've been getting about it. It's still really cool to kind of revisit the characters from the movie, and I'd still recommend it if you're a huge fan of the series and want, you know, some new adventures with Marty and Doc. But the game itself, as far as the gameplay goes, it is very, you know, straightforward. Just a lot of, what do you want to say? A, B, C, or D? Which way do you want to go? And the puzzles aren't even really puzzles, they're more like riddles, which I think I said in the last video. So gameplay-wise, I'm not blown away, but it's fun to see the gang all back together. So that's going to do it for the weekly entertainment roundup. Hope everyone's doing well. Tell me what you guys have been watching. Let me know. I hope that I will have something a little different for you in the next couple of days. I'm not going to tell you what, though. So a video a little different than what I've been doing. And also, don't forget, the Ghostbusters giveaway, the Ecto Cooler giveaway, is still going on. So please make sure to go check that out. All you got to do is take a picture of yourself, or, well, take a picture of yourself holding some kind of Ghostbusters memorabilia, or if you don't want to be in the picture, just take a picture of some of the stuff that you have around the house, Ghostbusters memorabilia, tweet with the message that is on the rules page, and that's it. You're entered. I'm going to draw this weekend, so you have a couple days left. Have a good one, everybody. Breathe deep in the night. Goodbye.